What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday, but it's not Monday, Tuesday, because I didn't have time to get my newsletter out to you guys yesterday. I was busy living, which I encourage everybody to do what feels right for them in the moment, which is a pretty powerful and free way to live. And yet, can be challenging because it bucks up against conditions and how society expects you to show up. That said, I really role model what it is I encourage other people to consider. And so here I am on a Tuesday. And I trust that this message finds you all curious, if nothing else, but hopefully joyful and vibrant and filled with just curiosity for what the week ahead has in store for you and what this message has in store for you. So as I think about January and I think about how I want to show up in 2025, I come back to love, right? And it's been a staple in my life for all of my life, particularly because we all come from love. I fundamentally know this. But particularly around the past 10 plus years of my own healing and personal growth journey, I have fundamentally come to know that love is truly the only real place that holds any power. And what I mean by that is when I choose to love myself during moments of challenge or struggle or fear, I immediately come back to peace. And when I'm at peace, I can then choose to love other people. When I choose to love other people where they're at, rather than where I think they should be, where my mind tells me somebody needs to be, I can witness them and care for them in a really authentic and meaningful way without needing them to be anything more than what they are. And when I can just allow people to be where they're at without trying to change them, then if they struggle to see that they are loved or that they're worthy of love or that they deserve love, they start to realize that they're worthy of love, right? And so this week, I really want to encourage you to consider how often do we limit ourselves? Do we keep ourselves unintentionally or intentionally, depending, from leaning into love, leaning into giving self-love to ourselves when maybe we experienced a situation that didn't feel right, or we didn't get the outcome that we had worked really tirelessly to achieve? How often can we look at somebody else where they're at, right? And just love them. And just love them without trying to change your experience. I'm going to use a really good example. When I drive up to streetlights and I see homeless people begging, I really always work to look at them in the eye and express love, because in the eyes you can just share this warmth, this opening, this compassion, right? And yet not feel bad for them, not try to change your experience, not feel like my job is to save them, because it's not. We're all on our own journey, guys. But just to love them because they're human, because they're part of the same experience I'm having in this moment. And yet somebody who I'm with quite often shuts down and is like, meh, not looking at that person, gonna zip up my energy immediately, And we close ourselves off from that love. We close ourselves off from that connection. And it could just be habit. It could just be discomfort, right? It can be really hard to look at somebody who is struggling and witness their experience and not feel some type of way. And so what we do is we zip ourselves up and we're like, nope. Or it can be really hard to not cast judgment, right? Oh, this person struggles with addiction. Oh, this person has mental health issues. Oh, this person is cheating the system and just trying to scam me. Whatever comes up for you, right? So instead, we avoid it. But here's the beauty about love, guys. When we can just love, without this story behind why we're showing up for the person, without this need to change the situation, we open ourselves up for more intimacy. And intimacy is super powerful in that we then allow ourselves to be loved for who we are rather than who we've created in order to be loved. And I think that is the human struggle quite often that is pervasive throughout humanity, is people operate from a place that makes them feel like it's worthy of love rather than operating from what feels good for them in each moment, right? But it's when we allow ourselves to just be who we are and love ourselves as who we are that we're able to create real intimacy, not just with our lovers and relationships, but with our children, with our friends, with a stranger on the street, with a coworker, because we don't have this false pretense about us. And that to me is the true power of love, guys, is loving yourself enough to love other people where they're at, messy, joyful, angry, scared, insecure, prideful, in control, out of control, just loving them. And in that is your superpower. Because when you say, I'm going to love you even when you're struggling with a heroin addiction, I'm not going to change your experience and I'm not going to stop loving you, it gives them permission to turn around and potentially love themselves. And if nothing else, allows them to connect with you in a more meaningful way, which helps them get curious about the choices they're making and maybe choices that they might want to make differently in the future. Guys, love is who we are. We just fundamentally, we come from love. Science has proven loving energy is so much more powerful than fear-based energy. It's so much more powerful than shame energy. It's so much more powerful than guilt energy. And yet, real love, true love, deep connection, deep love, feels really obscure and unattainable for a lot of people, because to feel that love means you got to strip away the walls, strip away your facade, strip away who you think you need to be. And it also means you got to give yourself permission to love all of you, the whole mess of you, the confident you, the insecure you, the loving you, the hateful you, the prideful you, the judgmental you. And I'm all of those things, guys. I am all of those and everything. And I really work to accept and embrace all of me and give myself grace, because it's the whole of me that allows me to see the whole in somebody else and love them for where they're at in this moment. So this week, I encourage you to consider all of the barriers that keep you from love, whether it's stories that you've been told about yourself or stories that you've been told about others, other religions, other sexual orientations, other states, other countries, and ask yourself, do those stories keep you from leaning further into compassion and love? And if so, might you consider letting those stories go and just leaning in and showing up with curiosity and unconditional love? Because then you learn to love yourself unconditionally, and that's the greatest gift we can give the world. Until 2 weeks from now, most likely on a Monday, but you never know. I wish you guys a joy-filled couple of weeks, filled with laughter, love, and a little bit of insanity, 'cause that's what life is. A beautiful medley of the unknown days, so keep shining bright and know you are a light. And I love you all oh so much. Until next time, keep being the light.